Hi, I'm Erin Mallory Long, and today I'm going to talk to you about Dawson's Creek, I think. All I know is that I love talking about Dawson's Creek, and a few people have told me that they like me talking about Dawson's Creek, and since I don't have a Dawson's Creek podcast, this is where we're at. It was just the 20th anniversary of the show premiering, and they reunited for Entertainment Weekly, and it regenerated something in me, and I was like, I need to watch Dawson's Creek again. I also bought all 5 commemorative covers, so it's okay. It's fine. Everything is fine. I was in 8th grade, and it was the most important thing to me that had ever happened. I remember the ads for it, and it just seemed so cool. It was like the first time that I had seen a show that I was like, oh my gosh, this is everything that I need in a TV show. I've done a rewatch like numerous times as an adult now, and just watched it again today, the pilot, and it's just so good. And everything gets set up. Literally everything of the whole series gets set up in the pilot. I think moving forward, I will do smaller chunks, like a few episodes at a time. But when I started my rewatch, I just barreled out of control, and I watched the entire first season in a few days. And so I didn't have a chance to record anything before I got to the end of the first season. But also, to be fair, the first season is a shorter season. It was a mid-season replacement, so it's not that many episodes. When I was in middle school and the beginning of high school, I had a corner of my wall that was covered in tiny, cut out from magazines, pictures of celebrities. There's a wall similar to that behind me right now, but I would just like to point out that it's not covered in magazine cutouts. It's an upgraded, they're in frames, most things are framed. I'm an adult now. So I was hoping that I could find my Dawson's Creek stack of photos to be look at these funny pictures of Joshua Jackson. I don't know where they are. But I did find my high school notebook. You'll see there's a picture of James Van Der Beek right here. It's a tiny version of a People magazine cover. I really have absolutely no idea where that came from. The back of it even says Dawson's Creek on it, and has pictures of Joshua Jackson and Katie Holmes. Also Usher. Just don't talk to me. Party of 5, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Matchbox. I'm going to stop looking at this. Okay, so this is what happens in the pilot. We learn that Joey and Dawson are best friends and have been best friends forever and sleep in the same bed. Miss Jacobs gets set up in the pilot. We meet her instantly. Pacey is instantly hitting on her. And he says, I'm the best sex you'll never have in the pilot of the show. Obviously, Jen. We find out she's from New York. We don't know anything else. We know Grams is super religious. We find out that the boys work at a video store. Dawson is obsessed with Steven Spielberg. And the dynamic that Joey and Pacey hate each other. What's also set up in the pilot of Dawson's Creek is, first of all, the fact that Dawson's parents have sex all the time. And secondly, that his mom is for sure having an affair with her co-anchor. So that is the thing that was the most shocking to me watching it again, where I was like, I can't believe that this happened in the pilot. You know? It ends on the moment when Joey's like, how often do you walk your dog when blah, blah, blah. And which is my favorite euphemism for masturbation. Walking your dog is just the best. She runs away angry because he won't answer the question and rows away in the rowboat, and then he calls out to her usually in the morning during Katie Couric. We go through the whole story arc of Miss Jacobs immediately. Pacey loses his virginity, everyone finds out, she runs away. We also go through the whole arc of the first time that Jen and Dawson tried dating. Which I always think lasts longer. But what also gets set up in the first season is Pacey realizing that he has feelings for Joey. We also find out in the first season just about Joey's life. Joey and Dawson go to visit her dad in jail. In the finale, of season 1, he talks to Dawson and then like figures out that Dawson is in love with her, and he's like, oh yeah, I love her, like blah blah blah, all this stuff. Like, she and Paisley are just so good for each other, and I just really like their dynamic. And they talk about it, and she's like, okay, steal your dad's truck, like we're going to visit my dad now. And then she can't get in because it's like the middle of the night, and obviously they don't just let like prisoners out or whatever for visiting hours whenever you want. But Paisley convinces the guard, and then like he's able to talk to her, and then she talks to her dad, and she's like, do you love me? And then she's weeping. And then meanwhile, like Jen and Dawson are like having a thing because like Gramps is just gonna die, like, or has died, I can't remember. And so like Jen is like, can I sleep over? And she's being all like seductive Jen, which is not my favorite Jen. It's just not. It's not my favorite Jen. They do Jen a disservice a lot of the times. Like, Jen is good when you're just like, oh, you're obviously like an innocent in this, like people are being dicks to you, but like seductive Jen I'm not into, because it's like, you've matured past this, girl. Like, it's okay. You don't need to do this. So she's like cozied up in Dawson's bed, and then like that song I'll Be by Edwin McCain is playing, and like Joey's like running to like go into the room, and it's like, I'll be your crying shoulder, you know, and then she's like running up, and then she's like, I'll be, and then she like opens the thing, and then it's like, and then she sees them in bed together. And then she like runs away. And so it's kind of a mirror of like the pilot episode where she's like, again, running away. Dawson's like yelling out the window to her, all this stuff. Then he like tells Jen like, no, she's going to get the wrong idea. Oh, is she? And, like all this stuff. And then he goes running after Joey around Cape Side, like trying to find her. And then finds her like in the closet, like, you know, which is like, we've already set up as their like safe space, and they like play Jaws in there. And then they kiss. And that's how the season ends. Like, that's how season 1 ends. And I need you to understand that me as a 13-year-old, I saw that and I was like, when does this premiere? I need to watch it right now. And then obviously by the time it premiered, like I was starting high school, like I was a freshman in high school, and I was just like, ah, and I was making this notebook. So like there was like a lot going on. There was like a lot at stake for me with what was going to happen with Dawson's Creek. Whew. I'm going to figure out how to make this work. I'm going to figure out how to make this like an actual thing and maybe be a little more focused, but like I just had to get some Dawson's Creek thoughts off my chest for right now. Okay? So subscribe, then you'll know when this happens more frequently. Follow me on Twitter. I'll probably tweet about it a lot, or Instagram. I don't care. Do whatever you want. Okay? Bye. And I'll be your crying shoulder. I'll be the greatest fan of yours.